Good evening, all my dear friends. I'm T, and this is Bell on the Call. Today, we're back with a special episode. But first, how has your day been so far? I'll start. I have been pretty productive, I guess. And to celebrate that, I would love to spend some time telling you about an intriguing topic. That is, which will give us the greater advantage, qualifications or experience. Let's find out the answer together. Are you ready? So, a few days ago, I heard a story from my closest sister. Let's call her Miss T, a fresh graduate sharing about her not-so-smooth job application procedure. And then it suddenly occurred to me that this is also a frequent problem among many young people nowadays. Miss T is a student who has just graduated from the university with a good degree. But like many other young people, she's still hunting for work. She used to apply for the position of recruiting officer at Family Mart because this company offered a lot of options for recent graduates. So she expected to acquire a job there soon. Both the CV round and the test round, Miss T passed excellently. But in the last interview, when the recruiter gave her 3 different CVs and asked which ones she would choose for the position of sales representatives at the convenience store, she immediately fell into a state of confusion because she had no experience doing something like this before. So what do you think her result will be? Despite having a really good degree and a desirable GPA, she was immediately rejected by the employer during the interview since her experience was insufficient for the position that she applied for. And certainly, there are those among us who have found themselves in the same circumstance as Miss T, right? But many others may have experienced an entirely opposite situation. There will be those who believe that their degree will determine their future employment opportunities. So they spend all of their time reading books from the lecture hall to the library. However, there are many who have wholly opposing viewpoints because they think school-learned knowledge cannot be completely applied in practice. Instead, working to get experience will be more beneficial to them. As a result, they gave up study time in exchange for experience, which led to distracted learning and a significant reduction in grades.
This is Bell on the Call.
And to dive deeper into this topic, qualifications or experience, we have invited a very special guest to our today's episode. She used to be a student like us, but then worked as a recruiter for quite a period of time. So I'm assured that she can provide you with some comprehensive and accurate perspectives. Let's welcome our special guest, Ms. Cẩm Hà, currently working at Fast Retailing Management Consulting Corporation in the field of CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility, as a coordinator.
Thank you for having me today. I'm very glad to be invited to this talk. I hope you guys will find my sharing somehow relevant and helpful.
It's a pleasure for us to have you today. So to start the ball rolling, I think that you must have altered your views on this issue, the qualifications or experience issue, over the years. But first, let's take a trip back in time when you were a recent graduate so that we can easily discuss this topic from the student's perspective. So the first question is, at that time, did you think that a great degree was truly essential and could demonstrate the amount of knowledge that students have gained over 4 years at the university?
Well, from my point of view, a great degree to some extent does show one's effort and determination in their education, but it does not necessarily reflect the amount of knowledge and accomplishment that a student has gained over his or her 4-year journey at university. Because apart from what students learn in classes and courses, they also learn new things from their part-time job, from joining a club, or from their friends and connections, etc. So I would say that what they have been able to pick up is beyond what they are taught in class.
Thank you for your sharing. So at that time, when I was a freshman, I did believe that a high degree just indicated a really small portion of an individual's real abilities because I was only provided with foundation knowledge. But then when I became a sophomore and then currently a junior, I changed my mind to a certain extent. I think that my score does reflect more than my hard work and luck, and I learned skills ranging from soft to hard through both classes at school and club activities. So maybe somehow we are on the same page. Another dilemma that I would like to raise in our discussion today is that a group of students believe that working part-time would provide them with experience, but they end up doing work that is entirely unrelated to their dream jobs. So did you have a part-time job when you were at the university? And what were your thoughts back then about those unrelated experiences from part-time jobs?
I think this question must have at least once crossed all of our minds. I used to be torn between two options, whether to find a job that can support me financially or one that can enhance my knowledge. However, please do not forget that every job teaches you something new. I used to work as a waitress at a cafe near the university when I was a freshman. At first, I thought that it was an easy job and that I just did it to have some money for my hobbies. But it turned out that I was able to learn a lot. I learned how to communicate with people, how to make coffee, of course, and I gained an insight into the difficulties and challenges that the owners had to face to maintain the business, which is quite relevant to our major, don't you think? And for the next 3 years, I worked as an English tutor at some English centers. I had a chance to meet a lot of new people, learned different skill sets such as communication, telesales, customer service. What I am most grateful for is that I had the opportunity to deal with different types of people. It helped me grow, widen my perspective, and become less vulnerable to deception.
So I guess to an extent it depends on our abilities to take advantage of the job. Obviously the working community is totally different from the community that we're exposed to at school, and it's great to have an opportunity to be familiar with it in the first place. Moving on to the present, I wonder if your perspective on this matter of qualifications and experience has changed when you became a recruiter.
I had a short period of time working as an intern in human resources to support the recruitment process. I think every company, when they are trying to recruit, they already know what to expect and what level of candidates they are aiming for. I mean, no recruiter would expect a fresh graduate to have like 5-year experience in the field. So it really depends on the position that the company is looking for. And I think it is not necessary for a fresh graduate to have like 5-year experience.
I see. So in your opinion, are soft skills important enough and can be used to substitute for work experience?
As I said, it depends. If you're talking about entry-level jobs, I think they can. Soft skills can help you to learn things faster, apply what you already have into doing your job, and company will provide in-depth training for you later on. But when employers look at your CV, all they can see is your work experience, extra activities, and qualifications. Soft skills only come to practice once you already get the offer. So your only shot is to somehow show a bit of your soft skills, communication skill to be exact, during the interview.
Thank you for such a clear answer. I think many of our listeners here may have untangled some questions related to this concern. Let's move on to another FAQ. If there are two candidates at an interview, one with a great diploma but no professional experience, and the other with 1 to 2 years of experience but low GPA score, who would you choose, and what do you base your criteria on for making such a decision?
For this case, I would say it is definitely an entry-level job. From what I have experienced during my internship, 1 or 2 year experience is really just about the same with a brand new graduate. If a person has great diploma but does not possess any experience because he had just finished studying, it is not his fault. All he needs is a chance to put his skills and knowledge into use. And the fact that he has a great diploma, in a way, does show that he takes his studies seriously, and with great likelihood that he will excel at his job too, doing the same. However, it really depends on the requirements of the job, so I'm not saying that the person with 1 or 2 year experience but has low GPA score does not stand a chance. The candidate still can perfectly get the offer if he shows that he is capable and has strong skill sets.
That is, again, an insightful answer. And since we're talking about so-called types of candidates, so who do you think should concentrate on polishing their qualifications, and who should focus on gaining experience?
Well, I think these two factors must be taken into consideration at the same time. You have to make time for both in order to balance your skills and knowledge. Expertise will give you the power to create outputs, and experience will shorten the time it takes to finish the task. Also, try to work on your skills as well. The skills that I find most essential and applicable to many of the jobs are communication, Excel, problem solving, and logical thinking.
Thank you for providing us with such informative and engaging perspectives on today's topic. I wonder whether you could give our beloved audience here some advice when stepping into the working world.
I just have some few words. I used to be just like you guys, worried if I would ever be able to survive in a dog-eat-dog world out there. I regretted enrolling in business English major because at that time, I thought it would not give me the expertise I need to find a well-paid job. I was so confused. I did not know what I liked to do, who I wanted to become. To be honest, I still don't. But let me tell you, do not think that everything must fall into place from the beginning. You don't have to get it all figured out now. No one can wake up one day and simply knows that he would like to be a teacher for the rest of his life. I'm not saying that you stop worrying about your future, but what I am trying to emphasize is that please experience and get involved as much as you can. You will somehow find out by trying new things, and finally you can point at that one thing you like and say, bingo, I found it. That's my advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I personally feel grateful because I have learned a lot from your inspiring sharings, and I hope that our audience would feel the same as well. Again, thank you for making time to join Bell on the call today.
It was great talking to you guys. I really hope that we will have a chance to meet again in the future.
Of course, we will be welcoming you back. And you, my audience, would you prioritize getting a degree or experience, or strive to achieve both? If you have any more points of view on today's topic, please feel free to share with us since Bell on the Call is always here listening to you. Thank you for your attention this whole time. Goodbye and see you in the next episode. I'm T, and this is Bell on the Call.
Wait, before leaving, let's have a look at some useful words and expressions included in this episode. And now, you are good to go.